You say pre-war to anyone in this New York City, they will literally sell a kidney. They will just give you their children.
I'm real estate agent Leonard Steinberg, and I sold this condo. I'm going to challenge 3 people with different real estate experience to guess how much it sold for.
Hi, I'm Chinwe, and I rent my apartment.
Hi, I'm Mubin, and I own my apartment.
Hi, I'm Pam, and I run a blog that covers real estate.
I'll be revealing the listing to them bit by bit. This is Asking Price.
We have a New York City condo,
2-bedroom.
2-bath.
1,497 square feet. You could call it 1,500 square feet. Let's round up.
I don't even know the square footage of my own apartment, but seeing this, I'm pretty sure it's way larger than mine.
This is a conversion, some sort of loft conversion with those giant windows.
I could live there.
First reaction is it seems quite spacious with these tall windows.
Those are amazing.
This is big for New York City. Most 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom I've seen are not this big.
It's a very nice view. I see a Dunkin' Donuts, so a property just went down. No offense.
Well, it's certainly been renovated, but I can see it's got the same baseboard heating that I have in my building, which was built in the late 1800s.
It looks new.
I will gawk at this price, I'm sure.
All right, so the amenities.
Private terrace.
Yeah, private terrace, it's sweet. Who doesn't want that?
Exposed brick. That is like my favorite word.
It does give it a bit more character.
Pretty much if you dig at any wall in New York City, in any building built probably before the 60s, maybe 70s, you would find brick under there. So exposed brick doesn't really excite me because I think most people can find it under their sheetrock. Full-time doorman, concierge.
Garage. Are you sure this is in New York?
Who doesn't want to be able to park their car in their building?
Common roof deck. It doesn't compare to having a private roof deck.
Gym.
Hardwood floors.
Oversized window.
Clearly. Elevator. Washer-dryer unit. That is not an amenity.
A lot of people have to walk to laundromats a couple of blocks in the winter just to do the laundry.
This is upsetting.
Double sink bathroom.
Soundproof windows. What?
Especially in New York City, this is a plus.
Private storage for rent.
Walk-in closet.
I would say about half of the places I've seen in New York City have walk-in closets.
Dishwasher.
Dishwasher is a necessity for me. I don't like doing dishes.
Total renovation. I'm assuming that means all new kitchen, all new bath. It doesn't look like they put in central heating.
Open kitchen.
I think that's just the trend, right? Who has 4 walls around their kitchen anymore?
Northern exposure.
And southern exposure.
You could walk around naked in the north and the south.
It must be some sort of floor through to be able to look north and south. This is a weird building. I can't wait to see what this is.
Carrie Bradshaw's apartment wasn't even as nice as this.
1,500 square feet is larger than most 2-bedroom apartments in New York, but I wouldn't say it's extravagant. The doorman concierge is especially desirable for the number 1 reason: security. Exposed brick has a romance attached to it. It adds a level of rusticness to the space and texture that you normally do not find in a new building. Once you've lived in an apartment with soundproof windows, you'll never want to live without them ever again, especially in New York City. Double sinks are very, very desired in master bathrooms. Why? If you're a couple, it prevents divorce. The convenience of having 2 people getting ready at the same time in the morning is really valuable. Northern exposures usually provide a soft wash of light all day long, while southern exposures deliver direct sunlight all day long.
Okay, first guess. Not fully comfortable taking a guess based on one photo.
I mean, you got a concierge and a doorman.
I'm actually very nervous.
I'm gonna guess $8 million.
My first guess, 1.7 million.
My first guess is 1.55 million.
I pieced together some of the luxurious items such as private terrace, concierge, elevator, and again, looking at the square footage, I came up with that number.
I got to $8 million because there's people downstairs. There's a doorman, there's a concierge, there's a garage. Knowing this New York City, I think that's gonna run you.
I made some assumptions about the location, and then I went with a number that I think is kind of the going rate in the location I'm guessing at, and that's $1,000 a square foot.
Tribeca, Manhattan, New York. That was home to many of the shows that I used to watch.
I know this neighborhood is sought after.
Look at all the convenient subways nearby.
It just makes life easier.
We're talking 1, 2, 3 trains, a Whole Foods, and a Target.
And in an area like Tribeca, we call it Target.
Some apartments in New York City, you have to go to this thing called a bodega. There is not a Whole Foods or a Target within walking distance. That is not a thing that happens. But in Tribeca, it does. This is definitely, I would say, for like a younger New Yorker.
I work in this neighborhood, and what I can tell you is it is upper class neighborhood.
It's stroller city. It's so many families. But another thing people love about the neighborhood is we have restaurants, business owners that have been there for 10, 20, 30 years. It is touristy because of the World Trade.
I think the apartment is located just the right distance from a touristy area, so I don't think it's gonna have a big effect on the price.
Parks drive up real estate values more than probably any factor. Being near a park is a massive amenity. Parks are New Yorkers' backyard.
I feel my initial guess was maybe a bit low. I would definitely raise my previous estimate.
When I make my final guess, I'm going higher.
I definitely think my next guess will be a little higher.
Tribeca is one of those rare New York neighborhoods that was built literally from scratch as a residential neighborhood starting about 15 years ago. And it's known to be one of the most expensive zip codes in all of the United States of America. Tribeca and its surrounding neighborhoods are known to have an extraordinary volume of restaurants and entertainment. It has a wonderful character, and most importantly, the vast majority of buildings are not more than maybe 15 to 20 floors. That means light is in abundance all year round. I think Tribeca is truly one of the most desirable of all Manhattan neighborhoods. It represents the best of downtown, it's close to so much, and it has a sense of community that I think people really, really enjoy.
Who lives here?
Okay, the first thing that points out is this terrace is big.
The Terrace is amazing.
The private terrace alone, like you could rent that out. You know, put a couple campers out there.
Opens up into the master bedroom.
Huge master bedroom. Oh my God.
The bedroom sizes are pretty standard, not luxurious.
Oh, I see. That's a like ensuite bathroom. You have to go through the master bedroom to get there. You know that's what everyone wants.
The room sizes in this condo are bigger than average, I would say.
So it was built in 1852.
People just go crazy for numbers like 1852. You say pre-war to anyone in this New York City, they will literally sell a kidney. They will just give you their children.
You know, that's an old building. It probably might have some drainage issues.
It's the second floor of an 8-story building.
Now that I see that it is on only the second floor, I don't know if that private terrace would be that beneficial.
It's cheaper to buy on the second floor, but I always like the second floor because you can run up and down the stairs a lot faster than you can take the elevator.
Washer and dryer in a corner.
I think the washer dryer may not be in the best place because one would have to walk around from the bedrooms to get to it.
It's a cool apartment. It's not gargantuan, but it's a nice spot.
A terrace in New York City is unusual. A terrace this size is virtually never heard of. The rooms are very well scaled, the living room is especially sizable, and the bedrooms are comfortable. These old buildings in Tribeca are exquisite architecturally, but of course when you're over 150 years old, as I am, you need a lot of work. You don't enter this apartment into the living room or the kitchen. There's a sense of arrival. And then, as you lead yourself towards the living room, it builds up to a crescendo. I always like that in an apartment, an element of surprise. Some might argue that the second floor isn't as desirable, but those who know that loft buildings on the second floor have the higher ceilings.
All right, let's take a look at these photos.
Fun. Hey, there's our exposed brick. Woo! That is some red brick.
The exposed brick is beautiful, as I said previously.
It does bring a lot more color into this apartment.
These windows are gorgeous.
I'm guessing those ceilings are 10 feet?
The room is not as wide as I initially thought, judging from these walls.
You have exposed brick in your bedroom? What?
It does seem quite spacious, assuming that is a full bed.
So that's the southern exposure, and the terrace is through the bedroom. That's kind of weird. You have to make your bed when you have guests over for dinner on the terrace, which is a downside for me because I don't make my bed on principle. I just want you to know on principle.
That is the second bedroom, and it has a view of the terrace, which is nice.
More exposed brick.
It's a pretty small bedroom though. This is pretty small, and yeah, this is pretty small.
For other places in the world, this might be quite small, but for New York, I think it is adequate.
You gotta bunk those kids. That's all right, they can take it.
I see a standing shower, the tub, big mirror.
It's either slate or granite, that's not marble.
Almost an island kitchen.
Wow, that is a white kitchen. That's really white.
Aesthetically, it's giving me like mental hospital vibes.
Not as much cupboard space as I would have hoped.
You know, that's not an inspired kitchen. It's not a big kitchen. Okay, now I'm kind of feeling good about my price.
Not seen anything with a terrace like this in New York City.
It's big. It's a nice size.
If you have an outdoor space in New York, it's always a reason to have a party.
The view's pretty terrible.
Yeah, so that's a crappy view. That must be the rest of the building, right?
It is still a sizable terrace, none like I've seen before, but it does take some points away. This common roof deck is definitely nice.
So that's a great view. That's fun.
It is a mid-rise building, so you have taller buildings around it. I'm sure you can get great views from here.
If you were bored of your view on your second floor terrace, you could join the rest of the building on the what I'm guessing is their common terrace.
This is a lot to think about.
I think I have enough info to make a final guess. Definitely.
It's a confusing building to me. It's a little weird, right? It's an old building with a gut rehab, maybe now I'm thinking, and not a scrappy conversion, which is what I thought it was initially.
We're just gonna go up. Everything's just going up. It's essentially what's happening here.
After seeing all of this, I'm ready to make my final guess.
My final guess is 15 mil.
My final guess, 2.2 million.
Final guess, 2.2 million.
This is nice. It seems like a starter condo.
I am fairly confident.
It has a lot more amenities, and maybe the building's bigger than I thought. It's not the hugest apartment for this neighborhood. You might not be able to stay here for forever. Just really taking a stab in the dark.
All right, it's time to reveal the actual selling price.
Oh my gosh.
Oy.
This condo sold for $2.8 million.
Oh my God.
That surprises me a bit.
I know my father's gonna watch this. He's gonna be so disappointed.
That's a lot of money, you know. At least I was in the right millions, and I was 600 grand off. That's the amenities driving that price up.
I think I went wrong in underestimating the location.
I think it's just, I have a natural inclination to just go big. it's just my thing. I have pink hair. Like, it's just, yeah.
So is it worth it? You know, it's a market. Yeah, it's worth it. The market gets what the market demands. Is it worth it to go have an $18 hamburger at Au Cheval that you'll, poop out the next day? I don't know. What's worth it? I think if you can afford it, it's worth it,
Pam and Mubin, so close. Chinwei, if you thought that was the cost of this apartment, you're my dream buyer. This apartment sold for the right price because the location is so desirable. The terrace actually faces an internal courtyard. It's a good thing because it's quiet. There aren't many apartments that combine all the criteria this one delivers. Mint condition, pre-war architecture, wonderful light, and outdoor space. This is truly a special home.